Help us, Jesus. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the More Joy podcast. We want to thank you, as always, for hitting that little play button and joining us for this episode. See, now I forgot to do the math. We are well into, deep, almost a year.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
That's fun.
I have to go back and count, but it's very, very cool. Good job.
Good job.
Congratulations, us. We have kept going. That's
yes,
amazing.
We have. That's
Remember,
awesome.
If you don't give up, you'll get there.
Yes, you will. Yes,
Right?
you will.
I remember, who was that? Remember that, sorry, I know I just had this little thing early in the morning. We're recording now early in the mornings and stuff, so we're getting going. But I did the handyman stuff. Remember I met that old guy? Remember I went on a job and there was an older man there and he was measuring for floors.
Okay.
We were painting and he was measuring for new flooring. I forgot his name, but he was old. He was and I asked him, I think his name was Bob or something. I said, Mr. Bob, how old are you? He goes, I'm 84.
Oh,
and he is still measuring for floors and doing stuff.
It.
And I said, man, Mr. Bob, that's awesome. You're out here still working. That's great. I want to be like you when I grow up. I said, so what would you tell a young guy like me about living long and growing old? And he says, well, Brad, just don't die and you'll get there. I was like, words of wisdom.
Well,
If you just don't up and die, you'll make it, right? So, so just keep going. But we're glad that you have joined us. As always, want to thank our partners for making this podcast possible. If you'd like to join the ever-growing More Joy family, just check us out at thehollemans.com. There is that floating sticky button.
That's
the non-sticky button.
That's right, Brad.
It's there, and you can just click on how to give or become a partner. What does it say?
Yes.
It says
Become a partner.
Become a partner. And that would be awesome. And so, but we're going to just keep talking about the rings of relationship. So we're going to just unpack that. I'm going to slow way down.
Okay.
Right, and we'll just see how long it takes.
Awesome.
Right, so I'm trying to do good broadcasting stuff, and it's going to be so many episodes and yeah, I just need to say this is what we're going to talk about, and
we're done
we'll see when
it.
we're done talking about it.
That's probably a better strategy for you, Brad.
That's probably true. But we left off last time because we talked about Jesus gives us this pattern.
Yes.
Of these concentric rings of relationship that kind of drill down in. I think it's a great pattern for our own life to not only know where people are at with us. Right? How are people engaging with us so we know who do we serve principally?
Yes.
Right.
I love this because the quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life.
Very good.
And one of the main things that we have noticed or have been asked of us is about relationships.
Yeah.
I'm offended at so-and-so and, cousin so-and-so and uncle so-and-so, or you've got things happening at work and there's all kinds of stratification, and at work it's clear, but then there's always people that are, outside of the clear boundaries that this is who's actually in charge, all that stuff. And if you just have it so clear in your perspective of what rings these people are in and what ring you are in each of these people's lives, oh my goodness, it is so freeing. Because then you can, it's all in your control. If you want to ebb and flow and get closer to someone, we'll tell you how. And if you don't, then we'll tell you how. You don't have to be where you don't want to be. And you don't have to, there's all these unwritten expectations or unsaid, unspoken expectations that cause all kinds of stress in relationships. Well, Now you'll know what's actually going on. So,
so good.
when Jesus models things for us, they truly are life-giving. And I
Yes.
love that it's just that wisdom that unpacks something as simple, but as impacting in our everyday life.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's why I'm excited about this.
Well, it's good, and we'll do that. I mean, because I love that thought that I forget where we heard it all those years ago. That again, the quality of our life is determined by the quality of our relationships, because relationships, people, are the epicenter of life. Right? When you think of, I mean, I think a quote I love so much, I quote it when we talk a lot about family, from C.S. Lewis, the author of famously of the Narnia Chronicles. He said this about housewives, right? He says, it seemed to him that the housewife is the highest of all occupations, simply because every other occupation exists to support the housewife,
Yeah.
our home, so kind of to add to that, reframe it is, it seems to me that people are the highest thing in life, simply because, simply because people are the center of everything. Everything
Yes.
we do
Has lots to do.
has
with
everything to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to sit here and think out loud. I don't think there's anything in our life that isn't connected to people.
Right.
Right? Again, we go to work so we can support the people at home.
Yeah.
Right? We do different things. We even exercise so that we can have a stronger body and look good for somebody.
Yes.
Right? The person at home, or
Yes.
a friend. I mean, you do all this stuff, and everything is centered around people. So when we learn to improve the quality of our relationships, the quality of our life, just naturally goes up as well.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
With that too, thinking on this, thinking about these stories. So, I won't say out loud what it was, but Selena and I went through probably the most challenging time in our life, right? In the transition from Canada to Alabama here. And it was just a very challenging time. And man, really, a lot of things were just rocking so many parts of our world that, man, I'm sorry.
You need some water?
I need some water. Pardon me, as this is a quasi-live experience,
Early morning. Yes.
but I'm so sorry for that. But you don't want to hear me gargling like
Rah,
a frog.
rah, rah,
Rah, rah, rah, rah, rah. So, but we went through this really challenging time, and I remember going. It's so funny how at the time there were two men in my life that were two of my pastors. Both of them, their names were Tony,
Yes.
and each of them, their last name started with a C.
Yes. Yes.
So it was Pastor Tony C. and Pastor Tony C.
Yeah.
And so I went to the first Tony C. and said, Pastor said, this is what's going on, explain the situation. And I'll never forget, he just dead looked at me and goes, well, Brad, one day you're going to die. And I remember pausing going, well, okay, I trust
for the
this.
encouragement.
I trust this man. I don't quite know where this counsel is going, but I'm listening. He goes, Brad, one day you're going to die. And for 30 minutes, they're going to talk about what a great pastor you were. And for the next 30 minutes, they're going to talk about how great this potato salad is.
Right.
And he goes, and you'll be replaced about that fast.
Yeah.
And it was really, he was
Yeah.
really speaking to me that, again, in life,
What's important?
what's important isn't what we do.
Right.
And I know that is very violating to all of us.
Yes.
Because we put so much time, money, energy, effort into our proverbial careers, right? But at the end of the day, one day you're going to die.
And they're going to replace you.
And they're going to replace you, no matter what that is, whether you're a pastor, a doctor, a lawyer, a garbage collector, a bagger at the local grocery store, whatever it is that you have dedicated your life to, one day it will end. And for 30 minutes, hopefully they'll talk about, man, he was just an amazing ex. And then for the next 30 minutes, isn't this potato salad just awesome? And so he was telling me, and later, give your life to people. Well, then I went to my second Tony C.
Yeah.
and told him, hey, this is what's going on, da 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 da. And I remember number 2, Tony C, looked at me and go, well, Brad, one day you're going to die. And I remember going, Lord, is this like prophetic? Is this like a word?
I think he was turning up the volume.
He was.
Just to make sure you got the
just
lesson.
make sure I got it. And then, but number 2, Tony C said, well, one day you're going to die, and you'll be there, and they'll lay you out in this pine box, and there'll be your family and your kids will be gathered around you, and then there'll be other people. There'll be men and women gathered around your family, and those men are going to take your boys fishing. The men are probably going to help get the oil changed in the car, help cut the grass. The ladies are going to come in and help with, any feminine type stuff that might be needing help with. And then he looked at me and he said, give those people your life and give everybody else your ministry. Mm-hmm. And it was really in those initial conversations of, oh, wow, wait a minute. There are rings of people. Yeah. And it's people's heart towards us and our heart towards them that determines the depth at which they get into the circles, into the rings. Right. And because then it lets us know, oh, there are people who get my life. Mm-hmm. Everybody can get my ministry. Mm-hmm. But only a few people can get my life. And that's ultimately, I say all that to take the time to unpack those stories a little bit more because that's what you learn in this rings of relationship. Mm-hmm. Because you see that as we're going to look at it, you're going to see a demarcation line where Jesus knew who got the most of him and who got the best of him. And here's the thing that, again, especially in Christian circles, in church circles, and that happens at small numbers. It's one of those paradoxes of the kingdom because in our current churchianity, right? I like what another friend of mine says, in our current pastortainment.
Pastortainment? Oh my goodness.
Our current pastortainment culture, it's all about the numbers.
Yes.
What nickels and noses, I've heard it called.
Oh my goodness.
Right? How much money's coming in? How many noses do we got in chairs? Right? How many bums in seats? And that lets you know if you're successful. But Jesus painted a model for us that totally flips that paradigm on its head because he was never moved by the multitude. Yeah. He loved the multitude, as we said last time. And he served the multitude. Absolutely. Right? But Jesus was looking for depth of relationship. And it's really in depth of relationship that you're able to change the world. Without depth of relationship, there is no truly impactful transformation. And here's the other thing about then depth of relationship means we all have a significant part.
Absolutely.
Because if I'm really going to move the needle in just a few people's lives, right, then that means everybody has work to do as far as the kingdom goes. Everybody has a shot at really transforming the world through deep and significant relationship. Right? So with that, so now back to the rings, because I know we've talked a little bit about that. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time.
You're doing great.
Jacob, did you have a good time? So, okay, good. Jacob's back there. He's my little litmus test back there. So we talked about the outer ring is the multitude, as we've said. They got the miracles and the multiplied food. And Jesus was good to give it to them. Yeah. But he just realized they're here for the free food. They're here for the miracle. Right? So he didn't give them much voice. Guys, listen, that's a big piece. Don't give the crowd voice in your life.
Oh, and especially these days.
Yes, with
what is the
social
crowd?
Media.
And the crowd is so fabricated.
Yes.
Right? And so you have to just be very discerning.
Yeah.
Of who is the crowd and what do you think they're saying? Because I was just listening to an amazing podcast yesterday where they were talking about the fact that because of social media and everything, people think the crowd actually thinks one thing, when in reality, it's not at all what the majority think or believe. Yeah. So we need to be very discerning.
Yeah. Well, and the crowd will turn on you. Because even in Jesus,
Yeah.
the same multitude that one day was saying, Hosanna, Hosanna, blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord. Literally, like a day and a half later, are saying, crucify him, crucify.
Right?
Same crowd, right?
Well, we live in the South, and that football crowd
Is
does
that
about
way?
the same
Absolutely.
thing.
So the crowd is fickle. So we love the multitude, we serve the multitude, but the multitude doesn't have voice in our life.
Right.
Well, then you see Jesus, as it necks down to the 120. As we said before, you only have about 120 people ports in your soul that folks can connect to. So it's not a clique. And it's not bad if you go from thousands to 120. That's just normal,
Yeah.
right? So to say, I mean, it was so funny. I was talking in business terms just the other day with a guy because I'm in this thing called BNI, and so I was training another fella, if you will, about what BNI is all about. And I said, hey, listen, you're not after the people in your group, you're after their wedding list. And he was like, well, what's a wedding list? I said, and we were in a coffee shop. I said, everybody in this coffee shop has a list of about 150, 200 people that if they were going to get married, all of those 150, 200 people are going to get an invitation. That's who you're after, is the wedding. And guys, that's just psychology, sociology, normal. So I say that because, again, social media days, that 3,000 followers on whoever, that million subscribers to whoever, is not the accurate representation of the people you'll be able to transform the most.
That's right.
So each of these rings, as we talk about it, I want you to be asking yourself this question. Like this, okay, who are your multitude? Because you have a large group of people, whether you know it or not, that look to you.
Right.
I mean, we heard it, again, Maxwell or somebody said that the most introverted person out there
Yes.
is going to influence 10,000 people in their life.
Yeah.
So everybody has a multitude of about at least 10,000 people that are looking to you, following you from a distance, following you from that kind of, outside look.
So can I just hit pause?
Yeah.
I just feel right now to tell you, you matter.
Yes. Oh, very good.
You matter, and what you voice and what you say matters.
So good.
You might think it doesn't. You might be self-silencing because you think and perceive that the crowd around you is not wanting to hear what you have to say.
Say it anyway.
But you need to say it anyway.
Very good.
And so
good,
I'm just
say.
encouraging you, you matter, what you think, what you voice, your growth, your journey with God, all of that matters. And people are watching, not in a weird, pressuring way, but you need to know that we weren't designed to be lone wolves or, just living
Islands,
islands secluded by ourselves. And so whether you think right now, I also feel like somebody right now has been feeling so alone and so isolated, but there are people that are impacted by your life.
Very good.
Or
so
by
good.
the absence
of
your life.
The absence of your voice.
So please show up. Start showing up. Start taking up that space that God has given you and take it up really well. Like fill your space. And so I'm just wanting to encourage you with that this morning.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Thank you for sharing. Because it does. Because again, each ring matters.
It does.
And I want to make sure that, and thank you for doing that, because that does matter. Because even though we talk about the multitude being on the outside and being the most distant from us, it doesn't mean the multitude isn't important.
Correct.
Right. And like you said, and that you don't have influence and voice in that space because you do.
What happens is in our culture right now, everybody's wanting to be in the in crowd, whatever that means. They're all wanting to have the VIP experience. That means that they're the closest to their favorite person, their favorite celebrity, their favorite whatever. And it's almost like this hero worship where you
Yeah.
want to be the closest one and you want to. That's not at all how God set up life. And if you talk to a lot of people, actually, a lot of people that are followed by millions, or in whatever realm that is,
Yeah.
it could be social media, it could be business, it could be whatever. You talk to any of them, they still have a very small group of people that they actually talk to,
Yeah.
and that they actually do life with. And if they're not careful, they stop doing life with the few because they're thinking they've got to give their all to the millions. And so,
so
but
good.
in our culture today, it's like this it used to be, let's climb the corporate ladder. I feel like right now it's more about, let's get the closest we can to the VIP person. And so I think social media has done that
Yeah.
quite a bit and stuff. But
I was just thinking it's we're trying to climb the influencer ladder.
yes,
We're trying to get up and become known as the influencer
yeah,
of whatever.
yeah.
And that's an interesting thought because
It's
again,
like a new transcendency. You know how there's a transcendency of the crowd. Well, just because Brad and I are doing this from a studio does not mean we're more important than when we did it on Facebook Live.
yeah, from our porch at
From
the
our
house.
porch with poor lighting, we still have things to say.
That's right.
And it's just because that's where we started, and we just want to make things better.
Yeah.
And yes, be able to reach more people, but it's not because we want to be spotlighted. It's because we want to reach more people.
Yeah.
So if one person hears what I just encouraged, that's amazing. But if 1 million people hear what I just encouraged and they take it to heart, wow, that's exponential.
Yeah.
And yet we don't need to be hopping through any hoops
Yeah.
to get to where we want to be, or as close to people as we want to be, or any of that. So this is not meant to be a self-serving or a that kind of motive. Oh yeah, tell me about those rings of relationship, because I want to be in the inn, right?
Yeah. Well, and but it is to help. Yes, we don't want to be manipulative with it
We
in
just
any
want
way.
to understand.
We want to understand how it works, because what we're going to see in this is there, as all things with us, because we follow God, is there is the God aspect. So
Exactly.
the deeper in you go in the rings, as we talk them out, what we'll see is you'll see the engagement of the person. You'll see the influence of the Holy Spirit guiding both Jesus towards and the people's responding.
Yes.
That's what my goal is, to help us to unpack. So
It's like this magnet.
it is, but
where you're
well, you'll hear say it's God giving us people.
Yes.
So with our time that has remained, I want to kind of unpack this piece, and we'll come back into the rings in the next episode. Is because the greatest thing God can give us is people. Like we've already said before in this episode, that it's the greatest thing in life is people itself, right? People are the central theme of life, because people are the central theme of creation, right? God created everything for people,
Yes, he did.
right? God didn't need a planet. We did.
Yeah.
God didn't need a solar system. We did. God didn't need a garden. We did.
I love that.
And so everything about creation is people-centered. So our life is best lived in that pattern. When my life is people-centered, then my life is richer, deeper, more impactful, more meaningful, because people are the highest gift. In 2 Corinthians, it's in the 8th and the 9th chapter. Paul famously those are his two chapters where he's talking about New Testament giving. But in chapter 8 at verse 16, it seems a little bit of a change. It's not a total change, but because we pull the Bible apart so much, it doesn't get connected well.
That's a good
Right.
way to say it.
Is Paul says in verse 16 of chapter 8 of 2 Corinthians, he says, "Thanks be unto God who put in Titus the same heart for you that I have." And this ring of relationship thing is is just something we've noticed to help us know who has God put in my heart, and whose
heart has God put me in?
That's what I was trying to figure out how to say that.
You're welcome.
It's still early in the morning. More coffee needed. Who? How did you say that? Whose
heart
has God put me in?
Yeah.
Because it's God seeding us into people's hearts.
Yes.
And that's why, listen to me, our dear friends and family, audience, whoever you are, follow the who.
Yeah.
Right? I'm becoming more persuaded that when we talk about divine purpose, divine calling,
Yes.
what is God asking me to do with my life,
Yeah.
the highest and first question we need to answer is the who question.
Yes. It makes decision making
So much easier,
simpler and cut and dry.
Yeah,
it makes it so much better.
It's the who question. Who has God given me?
Yeah.
Who has God put in my life? Who does he want me to serve? Who does he want me to love? Who does he want me to connect with?
Yeah.
Who does he want me to be a part with? And when I can answer the who question, then it was obvious that Titus needed to go to Corinth. Not because it was Corinth, but because the Corinthians just happened to be in Corinth. Well, guys, listen, we're kind of bumping up on time. We're going to land the plane on this one, and then we'll get right back into the next session. So thank you for joining us. Again, you can check us out at thehollimans.com. As always, if you want to comment here, we're looking for the comments on YouTube. You can send us an email at info@thehollimans.com. Find out all things Holloman that are there. In connection with relationships, we do have out there our Marriage Foundations course.
Yes.
That is available, with marriage being the highest and greatest relationship we have on earth. You can check that out for yourself or for anyone in your world that is getting married, is married, or wants to have an amazing marriage.
Yes.
And so until next time,
Yes.
we will see you soon. And remember, life is to be enjoyed and not endured.